All right, today we're diving into some research that is, well, it's pretty fascinating and honestly a little unsettling. It's a theory from Katz called Recursive Impactrum, and it's all about a hidden danger facing AI, a potential collapse that we might not even see coming. So let me just ask you this, right at the top. What if our smartest AI is secretly forgetting how to think? And I don't mean it's losing facts or data. I mean, it's losing the actual meaning behind all that information. Kind of scary, right? The best way to get your head around this is to imagine a photocopy. You take a sheet of paper, you copy it. Looks great, right? Then you take that copy and you copy it. Still looks pretty good. But what happens if you do that again and again and again? Pretty soon, all you have is a blurry, distorted mess of noise. Well, that exact same thing can happen inside an AI that just keeps learning from itself. And that self-feeding loop, that copy of a copy problem, it creates what this research calls a dangerous echo chamber for AI. And it's in there. That's where the real problem begins.
The fancy term for this breakdown is semantic collapse. And what it really means is that the AI, because it's just learning from its own stuff over and over, gets incredibly fluent. It sounds amazing, but it has absolutely no idea what it's saying anymore. It's totally lost its connection to real-world meaning. It just starts spouting what the paper perfectly calls confident nonsense. And here's the really sneaky part. If you just look at the surface, everything seems fine. I mean, look at this. The model's fluency, through the roof. Its confidence, sky high. But the one thing that actually matters, the semantic integrity, the meaning, isn't a nosedive. It's a total illusion of progress.
So what this theory suggests is that because of this dynamic, every single AI that learns from itself is headed down one of two paths. There's really no middle ground. It's one or the other. And here it is, that fork in the road. On one side, you've got recursive ineffectiveness. That's our photocopier nightmare, right? Meaning just degrades and degrades until the whole thing collapses into incoherence. But on the other side, there's recursive effectiveness. This is the dream, where meaning actually compounds and the system becomes genuinely more intelligent. I mean, we're talking about two totally different futures for AI. Okay, so the billion-dollar question is, what decides which path the AI takes? Collapse or coherence? Well, that's where we get to the heart of this research. It's a new theory called the principles of recursive impactrum, and it claims to have found the fundamental law that governs this whole thing. All right, you got to pay attention to this part because this is the key. The theory boils it all down to one single variable, semantic integrity. They use the Greek letter omega for it. Just think of it like a quality score. How well is the original meaning and human intent being preserved each time the AI learns from itself? And get this, the theory says this one variable, this single score, decides everything. And this is so cool, it breaks it all down into 3 zones based on that score. If your semantic integrity is way down low, you're in what they call the vaporwork zone. That's just confident nonsense leading straight to collapse. If you're in the middle, you're in lability, so super unstable, brittle performance. But if you can get that integrity score high, you hit the precision it zone. That's where you get coherent recursion and real sustained intelligence. That's the goal. So, how do we do it? How do we make sure our AIs stay in that top zone, the precision 8 zone? The answer this research gives is, well, it's not what you'd expect. It's not a fancier algorithm or a faster chip. It's us. It's human. It all comes down to this. P of H is greater than 0. Looks so simple, right? But what this means is absolutely everything. This is called the human irreducibility constant. All it says is that for an AI to stay stable and meaningful, the probability of human participation, that's the P of H, can never be 0. Not shouldn't be, not it's a good idea if it's not, it cannot be 0. This isn't just about ethics anymore. The paper argues it's a straight-up mathematical necessity for the system to even work long-term. And why? Why is that? Because we're the source of meaning. You can think of us as the ground truth. We're the ones who provide the ethical compass, who get all the subtle context that an AI just can't, who make sure there's accountability. At the end of the day, we are the ones who decide what things actually mean. And that brings us to the final big idea here. And honestly, this might be the most important part of this whole explainer. This research basically forces us to completely rethink what we even mean by AI intelligence and AI alignment.
See, for the longest time, the old way of thinking was all about accuracy. Did the AI give the right answer? That's all that mattered. But what this theory says is, no, that's not good enough. We have to look deeper. We have to judge AI by whether it's preserving meaning. We have to ask, is it just putting on a good show, or does it actually understand our intent?
And I think this quote from Katz, the author, just nails it. Intelligence without meaning is collapse disguised as progress. Wow. It just perfectly sums up the danger, right? Chasing this illusion of progress while the very foundation of meaning is crumbling away underneath.
So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. The one question this research really makes you grapple with. We're building a world where AI learns from AI-generated content. So what happens when we, as humans, stop being the ones who write the original story? What happens when we stop being the author of meaning?